So you want a key attraction in Mexico City that you cannot miss, a great place to have authentic Mexican food, and a bonus place for a great photo op, all within walking distance and under $20. I can handle that. Hey, it's Sarah. I've lived in Mexico for 10 years and I am your guide to authentic experience in Mexico. Make sure you grab my Explore Mexico City cheat sheet down below. The main place you cannot miss during your 24 hours in Mexico City like a local is the Templo Mayor, or the Aztec Temple Museum. Let's jump into the Zócalo in Mexico City to check it out. So we're on our way to the Aztec Temple Museum called the Templo Mayor, and I wanted to show you, we're in the metro. You gotta take the exit that says Catedral, that's cathedral. Zócalo Tenochtitlan, that's the name of the metro station. It's the blue line, and Tenochtitlan is the original name of Mexico City, back before it was Mexico City. Let's get out here and let's see where we are. We should be right where I want to be. So Zócalo has a lot of exits. Zócalo Metro has a lot of exits, as do many metros. So you might get turned around here. That's why I wanted to show you the correct exit. So we're in Zócalo, and I want to show you where we are exactly so you'll know how to get around, okay? Hang on a second, there's a guy passing. This is, public. So this is the Palacio Nacional. This is another place. We're not going there today. We're spinning around so you can see. And this is the National Cathedral right here. So you're looking at the front of this thing. Looks like they're doing a little restoration. Okay, so you've got your National Cathedral, Catedral. That's how we say that in Spanish. We're going back here, okay? We're going in between the cathedral on your left and the Palacio Nacional on your right. So this is where you want to get in, back in here to the Aztec Temple. So let's go. All of this is approximate. Remember, I'm not a historian, all right? But I'm going to do my best. So this cathedral is something like 500 years old. Pretty neat. Might as well show you that while we're walking here, right? And here we've got like a plaza where you can walk around. This is always a pretty chill plaza. Like, I always feel comfortable walking here. So the Aztec Templo Mayor is in here. Now, of course, the temple itself, I don't want you to be misinformed. You're not going to see the whole temple. It was knocked down by the Spanish. But the ruins and the museum are over there. And it is definitely worth it. Now we're just walking around the plaza to have a look. I think this is where I never want you to go to the restroom. You see this one right here next to the Nutriza? Last time I checked, which to be fair was a few years ago, that bathroom are people that bully you out of more money and steal it from you. And I've seen it happen more than once. Don't go there. You can actually see part of the Templo Mayor from the outside. So let's take a look. Oh, don't be alarmed, that's not an animal, that's like a thing they sell. So this is the foundation of part of it. And as we get in there, we're gonna pay to get in. We're gonna see it a little bit up close, but this is something, you don't have to pay to see this. Like, this is all free, I'm just walking around here, okay? But there's a lot more to see. And you can hear the cathedral going. So just to show you where we are once again, that's the cathedral where we're entering behind it. So let's come back around to where you actually go in. You can buy those things that make those like jaguar noises if you want. I think it's really hard to make it though. Like, the guys that sell them are really good at making the noise, but Okay, so I will double check here, but I think you have to go in here. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so that's where you go in. So I had a camera hiccup at the very beginning and I didn't quite get to record the buying of the tickets, but this is at the very entrance of the Templo Mayor. This is a model of what it would have looked like back in the day. Very cool, and there are signs in English there. The ticket for everybody, kids and adults, costs 95 pesos for the Templo Mayor archaeological area, and that is about currently about $5 US. So very, very affordable. And nationals can get in for free on Sundays, but foreigners and tourists, you always have to pay. There's no free tickets for anybody, and kids cost the same. So let's take a walk through the Templo Mayor and just see some of the main exhibits here. Something that I did want to mention is that part of the exhibit is outside, as you can see here. And when I took this video, things were a little bit backwards. They had lots of areas roped off. I think they were doing maintenance on some things. And so your exact journey here may look a little bit different. But yeah, so I'm walking around here outside, just looking at some of the archaeological site. Please remember to bring a hat and sunblock. You will definitely need that. Back here, we're looking at the cathedral and some of the other Spanish buildings that were built after the Templo Mayor. They actually took stones from the Templo Mayor to build the Spanish buildings whenever the Spanish came. So that is a little tidbit. Now, please remember once again, I am not an expert on this history. The purpose of today's video is simply to show you what you can see and just get a taste of it so that you'll be able to decide whether or not it is for you. Another thing I wanted to make you aware of is that if you are not a Spanish speaker, you might struggle a little bit through your journey here in the Templo Mayor. There is quite a bit of signage in English for the main events, or the main highlights, I should say, but a lot of stuff is only in Spanish, and the bigger problem I found was that staff only spoke Spanish. So if you don't have a Spanish speaker in your party or a Spanish speaking guide, you're going to struggle a little bit through the Templo Mayor, as is the case with the majority of your trip in Mexico City, unfortunately. So I'm just going to continue walking you around through the ruins. Here in this clip, you can see a little bit of red paint on some of the stones. That is original red paint. And if I'm not mistaken, that is why they have the metal roof put up to protect the paint, protect the ruins from the sun. So we're going to go through this a little bit quicker now just so you can see what it looks like. And then in a few minutes, we're going to jump into the actual museum. I'm going to put on some music so you can enjoy and just walk through with me. So apparently this used to be a high school. The lady standing next to us just told me. It's now a museum of the UNAM, and it's one of the things I was looking at for you. This is not part of the Templo Mayor. It's right behind it though, and it's really neat, so might as well check it out while you're here, right? So now we've entered the interior museum portion of the exhibit. Those are stone skulls, by the way, not real skulls. And we're walking up into one of the halls here. So there are 8 different halls with different collections here in the Templo Mayor, and there are large signs for each one, like this one, half in English, half in Spanish. Over here, we're looking at a model of Mexico City. This is Zocalo. So over here, there's the National Square. This over here is the cathedral, which we just passed earlier, and back in here's where we are, the Templo Mayor ruins. So you can get an idea of what it looks like. And over here, this area is, I think this is the Palacio Nacional, the National Palace. where the president usually lives and has conferences. At least the current president has conferences every day. There are tours of that, and I'm working on a future video with a tour of the Palacio Nacional, but you can't just walk in, you have to schedule a tour. So we're just going to walk through the museum here, check out the exhibits. I'm going to put on some music so you can enjoy it, just to get an idea of what is available here in the Templo Mayor Museum. The last tidbit I wanted to make you aware of before we jump into music is about recording in the museums. In most museums in Mexico City, I've noticed you have to pay for a special permit to record in the museums. You can take pictures without flash in most museums, but you are not really allowed to record anything like I'm doing in this museum unless you pay a little extra. It's at the same ticket booth and everything. You just tell them that you want to record something and that you need the permit to do that. And for this museum, it costs 50 pesos. That's about $3 US. You cannot sneak and record. I was stopped almost every single time I saw a security guard and told I was not allowed to record. I simply kindly explained to them that I got the permit, and they always asked to see it. So if you're going to try to be sneaky and think you're going to be able to record in these museums, nope, you're going to have to pay the extra $3. Do you want another 24-hour adventure in Mexico City? Or maybe you're staying for a couple of days and you want to put a couple of these videos together? Check out another 24 hours in Mexico City like a local up in the cards after you watch this video. Before we go any further, we've got to talk about snacks. People love to talk about affordable food in Mexico, and I found this. This is called pan de naranja. You got two big pieces. I mean, look. This is like as big as my face. And this was 13 pesos in the metro. So 13 pesos would be under $1 for two. I haven't tried it yet, but let's try it. We could try it on camera together. Hopefully I can open it. Just a word of caution too. Whenever you're sitting here, you see I'm filming, of course. I'm putting my backpack on myself, so it will be difficult to grab it. You know, it's difficult to pay attention while I'm talking to you, and so I'm going to follow my own rules. Always be paying attention. Let's give it a try. Yeah. Okay, I got a little bit. So the top of it has a little bit of an orange flavor. Excuse me, I'm stuck with my mouth full. For 50 cents a bun, it's decent. It's very lightly sweet. And so what you're going to find is a lot of breads here in Mexico. They call them bread. It's supposed to be like a pastry, but it's not quite. It's not quite as sweet as what we're used to. So we're walking away. The Templo Mayor is behind me. And we're walking towards Zócalo now. El Sazón is one of many, there's many branches of it. I think there's 4 or 5. So you can always find one. Now, they don't speak English. Also wanted to give you a little bit of important information about the Templo Mayor. So as I mentioned, not everything's in English, but they do have the main stuff in English, at least the signs. But there's a problem I noticed that you might have if you don't have a Spanish-speaking guide or you don't speak Spanish yourself, and that is the instructions from the security guards. Nobody speaks English. Nobody in the Templo Mayor. None of the security guards, none of the staff, nobody at all. I noticed a girl that did not speak Spanish struggling to explain to the guard that she wanted to get back up to the 7th hall because she'd gone to the bathroom and she's just trying to get up to number 7, and he didn't understand what she was saying. So there was another fellow museum goer that helped her out. So you just be aware of that struggle. We'll continue into the next point in just a second, but first, a word from our sponsor. Yo quiero Taco Bell. Cut, no, absolutely no. There is no way we are running a Taco Bell ad in a video about Mexico. I mean, why not? She's so cute. Because we have to advertise actual Mexican food, and there's got to be some type of legal issue here. Legal? No, definitely no. Team meeting, I need the legal, creative director, marketing, stunt double. Wait, why do we have a stunt double? So I had this amazing idea, or we do a backflip off the back of the metro. Definitely no, that sounds like a nightmare. Whatever, you have no creative vision. Okay, 3 things. First of all, that's illegal. Nope, definitely not. Second, it's extremely dangerous. And third, corporate is never gonna go for it. No stunt doubles. Aww. Wait, okay. I need some cleaning staff. You can stay. Yes! Okay, guys, can we please get back to the sponsor and get back to the video? Sometimes you just have to do things yourself. Hey, future editing Sarah here. Man, my team is not on the ball. We forgot the whole sales pitch. So this is what we were supposed to say. Do you need Spanish classes for an upcoming trip? Or maybe you just want Spanish classes just because? Go to señorasarahsclassroom.com to book Spanish classes with a native speaker. The next thing you must do in your 24 hours in Mexico City like a local is you gotta eat. I'm gonna take you to one of the best spots in Mexico City to have authentic Mexican food. There's usually a line out the door for this place. Let's check it out. Just wanted to show you what the restaurant looks like. I am gonna stand briefly in the street, okay? It's Sazón. This is number 3, but there's more than one, but they're all the same. It's just different numbers. So this is a little of the interior decoration of El Sazón. I particularly like this dome where the cash register is. It looks really cool. And as you can see, this place is loaded with people. It's got a really cool old Spanish style structure. It probably is a historic old building. I don't have the details on that, but almost all of these places are. So really, really cool. You can also see that it is beautifully painted and decorated, clean, and back here in the back where the kitchen is where you'll find the restrooms, which is where I was heading, but don't worry, I'm not going to film the bathrooms. Let's take a look at El Sazón's menu. You can get a burger if you want, but why would you do that? So one of the most popular things is to get the something off the white menu. This is the same menu out front. This is the menu of the day. And if anyone's interested in knowing exactly what something is on this menu, take a screenshot, comment down below, I'll tell you. But menu of the day looks like it's the black. You choose one of each thing. And it does not, no incluye bebidas. It does not include drinks. But look at that. Oh, 78 pesos. Okay. That's very affordable. That's like $4 or $5. So So, yeah, if you're curious about one of those specific dishes, tell me, and I will happily give you a comment responding to exactly what these are. But you pick one of these, one of these, one of these. A very common thing. Sometimes they call this comida corrida. It means running food. It's kind of funny. So you're going to choose a type of soup. You get a rice or spaghetti. Usually, it's not a big dish. It's a small little bit of spaghetti with maybe some cream on it or a salad. Very simple salad. And then you pick one of these for your main dish. We have our handmade tortillas. You could look at these. I mean, you can see the difference in that tortilla. That is beautiful. I'm going to cover that baby. So you got to keep those covered so they stay hot. Of course, this is standard on any dish, any table in Mexico. You've got your lime, so you got to have that. You got your salsa verde. I haven't tried that yet, but please be careful. Verde is not always, the green salsa is not always lacking in spice. And of course, we've got our drink. So this is, wow, look, you've got your big old spoon to mix it. Maracuya, and it looks like they put in, I don't know if that's chia seeds or if that's like the actual seeds in it. Anyway, it's only me today, so I got the whole liter for myself. It's hot today and I like to drink juice. So I'm going to look up what maracuya is. It's a fruit, but I cannot remember what it is in English. It might be passion fruit. I'll have to look it up. Anyway, that's a good start to lunch. When the whole meal comes, I will show you the rest of it. I got mole today, so I'm very excited about that. So let's wait till we get the food. So what we have here is pollo con mole, chicken with mole. So there's our chicken. Now, I'm not a fan of onions, so forgive me. I'm going to pull it off, but it is beautiful on here, right? Now, mole is something you've got to try if you've never had it. This is the name. Mole is the sauce that's on here. Let me taste it. Mole poblano. So that means Pueblan mole. I'll get that in a second. That's the kind that I like. Don't worry, if you heard that, that was just my case. Mole, there's so many kinds of mole. It's almost like the amount of kinds of curry there is in the world. So if you have tried it and you don't like it, try it again. Try a different kind. There's different colors. There's different flavors. This one, Poblano, is kind of sweet, and I like this one. So that's that. Of course, you got your rice, and that's my meal. So this was 110 pesos plus the drink. I do think that is a little bit, maybe a little bit expensive. You can eat cheaper, but it's still not bad. I mean, 110 pesos, currently we're talking $6 plus your drink. I don't remember how much my drink cost, but it was so good. This drink is delicious, so whatever it cost, it was worth it. So yeah, and I already tasted the mole. It is really, really good. So, and you can always ask for more tortillas if you run out. They only gave me 2. You get more and you don't get charged more for more tortillas. So yeah, looking good here on El Sazon. Come here when you are in Mexico City to try an authentic Mexican meal. And if you haven't tried mole, this might be the place to try it. It is pretty good. And I don't even like mole that much, but I like this one. Here are a couple more mealtime nuggets, tidbits for you about having a meal in Mexico. When you're at a restaurant in Mexico, typically the waiters and waitresses are not going to come as often to your table as they do in America. Now, here at El Sazon, where I'm having lunch today, they're pretty good. They come fairly often to the table, but they're also busy, which means you know the place is good, right? But for the most part, in general, waiters and waitresses, they don't really come to your table unless you signal them over or call them over to your table. There's kind of a funny thing that people will do in restaurants here, but you'll see them kind of look like they're writing in the air like this. That means they want the bill. So it's kind of a slower pace. And if you want something, you have to kind of speak up and ask for it. It's not because the waiters are unattentive. It's just the culture. They don't want to bother you while you're eating. So it's a little bit uncomfortable, I think, to kind of speak up. You kind of just want to wait and not bother them. But that's something that you got to know about having a meal in a restaurant in Mexico is you're going to have to speak up for a little bit more and ask for what you need. And at this particular place that I'm having lunch today, there are not English speakers, so be ready. Do you have a question about Mexico City, or maybe a question about an upcoming trip of yours to Mexico City? Pop me a comment below and I will do my best to answer you. I try to respond to every single comment. Our bonus photo op is Palacio de Hierro. That is a department store that's about 100 years old. This is the original one with the beautiful stained glass ceiling. You have got to pop in and check it out. It's absolutely gorgeous. From Zócalo, it's actually on the way to El Sazón on the street 20 de Noviembre. That looks like 20 de Noviembre. So it's easy for you to pop in and take a few pictures for your Instagram or social media. So that'll wrap up some of the key things you cannot miss out on your trip in Mexico City. Make sure you subscribe to be notified of my next video, and while you're at it, go ahead and binge watch the rest of my videos about Mexico City. If this was helpful for you, let me know down in the comments, give me a like, and I cannot wait to see you next time. Nos vemos!